Welcome to Purgatory After Hours. I'm Guido.
Hi, I'm Moy.
Hi, I'm Tania.
We got Tania here today. Tanya's our OG. We brought Tania on because, she's been in the industry a long time, and, we're going to touch base on a topic that probably wasn't even relevant in her times. Tania, tell us how long you've been tattooing.
It's been over 32 years now. Yeah.
32 years. Mm-hmm. And I'm 40. So I remember Tanya's shop when I was a kid, and, it was a, well-known shop in the area. At that time, there wasn't many tattoo parlors. And, the name always, rang a bell. So it's a pleasure having Tania here. So, me and Moy, we were thinking about doing this the last episode, but, the thing is with recent events, I felt like it was wrong to do this topic so close to a tragedy. And, now I feel it's the right time to touch base on it. Yeah, so, Tania, when you started getting into the industry, was there any numbing agents? Do you remember any kind of numbing cream?
I really don't remember any until, hearing about it more maybe 10 years ago. Maybe not even that far back.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember it until probably about maybe 05.
Everyone just soaked up their pain.
Yeah. I mean, even back then in 05, it was people experimenting. There wasn't really numbing cream. It was anal hemorrhoid cream.
Oh, with Bengay or something?
Yeah, with had lidocaine in it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. They use that instead?
Oragel. Well, at that time, tattooers were still pirates, so we just experimented. You know what I mean? But I mean, it's kind of scary now that the amount of numbing agents that are out there on the, market, and it's how do you know which ones are safe? The one I use personally, it is a hemorrhoid cream. It's not marketed by the tattoo industry. It has 5% lidocaine, and to me, it works the best out of anything I've ever used. It works amazing. I love it. But I've used marketed stuff for our industry, like the TK stuff. What was it called?
TKX? TK.
Yeah, the Chinese stuff.
Yeah.
It's so bad. I've seen clients break out with it, and it's just not that good.
I've seen skin burns for that one.
Yeah, it's not good. I highly don't recommend that one.
I remember looking at one in a pharmacy, picking up the box, and it said, "Do not use on puncture wounds." So I was like, I don't know if this really works for tattoos.
Believe it or not, a lot of the numbing agents that you buy for tattoos, it says the same thing. And it's a legal way of protecting themselves.
Oh, okay.
It's kind of like some supplements you could buy in the store, workout supplements, are the same thing. You know what I mean? It's not for such and such reasons, but they know you're going to take it for that reason.
At least in my part, as a person that didn't use numbing cream before, because I started using it in the couple last tattoos I've had. I mean, I know it doesn't work the same with every person. At least in my part, it only works especially for line work.
Yeah.
Which is my most painful part. Personally,
Really?
Yeah, line work hurts.
It's usually the color, right?
No, line work hurts a lot.
I agree with that. Line work is like taking a razor blade to your skin,
right?
But shading is like a rug burn.
Shading is more of the vibration that annoys you continuously. But line work sucks.
Yeah.
But after starting to use it, at least I know I've gotten more sensitive with age.
Yeah.
So it's been nice. I mean, I was always people have to soak up their pain and don't cry. But I don't know, since I've gotten older, I'm you know what, I'm tired of feeling pain, so.
It sucks, especially me getting my blackout. I hate getting tattooed so much. And when I was 14 and 15 and 16,
you didn't care.
I was fine. I was getting tattooed on kitchen tables.
Yeah, me too.
I was getting tattooed everywhere I could.
Yeah, why does it hurt more when you get older? It doesn't make any sense at all.
And you would think being older that your pain tolerance would be more.
Yeah.
But
because life has hit you hard all your life. You should be more durable.
Right. But I don't. Maybe our nervous system is just closer to
death.
Yeah.
But Um,
And when you're younger, you're invincible. You feel invincible.
That is true,
Oh,
because
yeah.
let me tell you something. At 16 and 17, I felt like Teflon down.
Mhm.
Like, there's nothing that could stop me. And I was
Yeah.
maybe 160 pounds back then.
You take,
So,
take more risks and everything.
you know what happens too, that we have like the most painful spots left, probably.
that is very true.
At least I've left all the painful spots for last. So now I'm like, oh, I need to tattoo my elbows. Oh.
Yeah. That is true. Tanya, what's your most painful tattoo?
My neck, actually.
Really?
Yes.
I never minded my neck.
Yeah.
Neck suck.
My neck, my face, that stuff don't bother
face
me.
face is fine.
It does not bother me. If somebody touches my arms, I get angry. Somebody touches my legs, I'm like more agitated. Like, but when it comes to my face, it doesn't bother
I
me.
think the most painful part about the neck is like the back part.
Oh, behind the ear sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like behind your ear
Yeah,
sucks.
really, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
From what I've seen. I don't know, it was here.
Tanya, have you ever used numbing cream?
No.
Never?
No. I
Have you ever
never
had the
tried it.
urge to use it?
Nope.
No?
I got
You're-
too much
Oh.
pride.
Just champ it out?
Now I feel bad.
I'm a pussy.
No.
I'm a pussy. I use numbing cream every chance I get. And if somebody's... The only time I didn't get to use it is a buddy of mine, Chris Litz. He did a Method Man tattoo on me.
A
And
what?
Method Man.
Oh.
From
That is
Wu-Tang.
either.
Okay.
You guys, we're gonna listen to Wu-Tang later. But he did this awesome tattoo on me, and I've been dying to get tattooed by him for a long time. He's just an amazing artist, and he refused to let me use numbing cream, and I'm like, this is gonna
No.
fucking
No,
suck. And
and
we
it
were at
sucked?
we were at the West Palm convention last year, and he did it on me, and I just felt like I wanted to like kick him in the jaw. Like, I'm like, get off me. You know what I mean? But it came out
Where
awesome.
was it?
It's on my ankle.
Oh,
Oh.
Yeah, so I mean, he did really good, but
Probably he did it not because he wanted you to be in pain, but more like he was afraid of the result. Because I've seen like tattoos heal pretty bad.
that's
Maybe.
exactly why he told me he doesn't
Yeah.
allow
Oh,
any
okay.
of his clients to use numbing cream.
Yeah.
So he does a lot of like color realism, black and gray realism, and a lot of his work is a lot of time put into it. And sometimes certain numbing agents can affect the healing.
Yeah.
And that's why he would not let me use numbing cream. Because, I've had one bad experience with a spray called Vaseline. It's a blue bottle.
Mm-hmm.
And I used it on one of my artists. We did a tattoo for a convention. And the oranges turned like dirty looking.
No.
The tattoo got tight. It just was not good at all.
I don't like the part, like if I let people come and bring some in and use it, I don't provide it for them, but I didn't like how once they start to get any kind of feeling back, it's like tenfold pain and they
Yeah.
can't handle
Oh,
it and they tap out. It's
Double
like-
worse.
Yeah, because your body adjusts to pain at some
Mhm.
point. I mean, it's not like you're not in pain, but your brain adjusts to the pain at some point, and you make it tolerable for like a couple minutes or a couple hours. But if you're numbing that place and it comes back, it's just gonna come back all swollen and it's just gonna be worse. And I think that's what happened to my head.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. We definitely gave you lidocaine poison a couple times. Your back,
I'm
your head.
fine.
I mean, there's some valid points to it, to why not to use it, but there's also valid points to use it. And I'm old school. Tanya's very old school, and I come from a time when we didn't have it, so it's like, you're a pussy if you use it, but I'm okay with being a pussy.
That was my thought before. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I gotta until like I'm like, hey, this is not that bad.
If it's somebody's first tattoo, I suggest they don't use it,
Yeah.
because it's always like, you want the aesthetic of being tattooed, but you don't want to go through the pain of getting tattooed. To me, it contradicts the whole idea of getting tattooed. It's an experience. You need to feel it.
Yeah.
You need to know that you're getting that needle shoved into your skin.
Yeah.
It's,
Or like getting tattooed by a coil machine.
those machines hurt double than what
Yeah,
the
they
pens
do.
would get.
I got my chest done with a coil machine,
Oh,
and
man.
I still remember it all the time.
It's like a chainsaw sometimes. And
Yeah.
it depends on what artist is actually tattooing you, because some traditional artists have paws for hands, and if they're stretching you,
Yeah.
the stretch hurts more than the coil.
Yeah.
And then you put those two together, man, listen,
Hmm.
it's like you're being tortured.
Yep. Yep.
And I know that because I used to be that. I didn't start using pens till like 4 years ago. So I was loyal to the coil for a long time. And I built most of my machines. So
I like coils. Coils hit harder. Coils do better lines. Definitely do better in line work. But there's something about the noise that I've never gotten used to. Like,
it's soothing.
no, what?
I love the noise. I love the sound of a coil.
No, I don't.
Like the thrill, I'm sure Tanya could appreciate this too, because like the thrill of walking into a tattoo shop and you just hear nothing but coil machines running.
Once in a while, I get somebody who says they miss hearing that and they want to.
It's relaxing to me. Is it relaxing to you?
Just put in music and
Yeah.
put coil machine sounds for 10 hours straight.
I mean, Tanya, when you started, you learned how to make your own needles and everything, right?
Yeah, with the needle bar jig and the soldering.
Yeah,
and
those are
everything.
different
Yeah, that
times.
took forever.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, and
How do you do your own needles?
just you had to buy the little package of individual pins and then lay them out on this jig thing called it, and then for the different configurations, and then drop the solder in, and
It's
then
a
put it on
time.
the bar.
What?
Yeah, they use the eye loop to make sure that everything was even.
Put them in the pouches, sterilize them.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, hard work, but so
Well,
cool.
back then there wasn't a lot of suppliers. I mean, there was Spalding's in the area, and there was like maybe 2 other suppliers that shipped it out, but you didn't have a lot of suppliers. There wasn't even that many ink companies. A lot of tattoo artists back then were still making their own inks.
Yeah, I remember United.
Yeah.
I guess there was not like a really big gamma of colors either.
No, you had your primaries, and then you had artists who were known for making inks, and they would take the powder, make the inks, and they would create colors. And sometimes I see those tattoos now from back then, and they're still vibrant. Like, my dad, I remember he had this turquoise green in his tattoo, and he got tattooed in the 50s. Not that turquoise green was still bright. It's the brightest thing on all of his tattoos. So that was pretty cool.
What do you think about those inks that glow in ultraviolet light?
Stupid. It's
Right.
so stupid. And if you get those tattoos, you're stupid.
Yeah, don't. Don't.
Here's the thing. Those companies are marketing something that's, 1, not logical for your skin. 2, you can get the same idea with white ink. White ink glows under black light. Those tattoos only glow under black light. They don't glow in the dark. They're not radioactive where they're just gonna start glowing.
But they do have glow in the dark, right? Yeah,
I wouldn't trust that in
I
my
know,
skin.
yeah.
Would you dress something with
No, but them.
weird components like
Uranium in your skin.
Yeah.
Some people don't care.
I mean, nowadays people wouldn't care. They truly today's society with tattoos. They do not care about longevity. They do not care about their bodies.
I don't know.
They want it because it's trendy and because it looks cool. And then in 2 years they'll complain about it. These micro tattoos.
Yeah.
Going to be a new topic in 2 years when everybody's getting them covered,
We're
which
gonna
I'm
start
okay.
talking about fine line.
Yeah.
What are we talking about fine line now?
That's
Because
gonna be on the
I'm
next-
here for it.
That's going to be on the next episode, guys.
Right.
But and back to the numbing agents. I mean, they're as trendy as it sounds. People are trying to get creative with it. Now they're doing anesthesia. And unfortunately, bless his family, but somebody died under anesthesia getting tattooed.
Yeah.
And it was bound to happen.
I thought you had to be a medical doctor or
They're-
dentist to use.
They are.
Oh, they were. Oh.
They were medical professionals. It was it's such a weird approved thing. I don't know how they got approved to do it, because in my understanding is your body, when it's under, it can only take so much stress.
Yeah.
A tattoo is constant stress. It raises your heart rate, it raises your blood pressure, it drops your sugar. So much happens to your body while you're getting tattooed. You're not just getting tattooed.
Yeah.
Your body's going through some shit, you know what I mean? So when you're under anesthesia, it's not like getting your tooth pulled.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not like getting cut open by a scalpel where it's so sharp you don't feel much in the first place. You know what I mean? Like, there's little or no pain in most surgeries, regardless.
What did they say it was due to? I didn't hear the whole story about it. Like, did they?
Cardiac arrest.
Oh.
That's
Did
what
they give
happens.
them too much, or too much anesthesia?
They
or
didn't
it was-
really release too
yeah.
much information on it. Every story I read up on
I
it
think they
is
wanted to.
yeah.
Because this is making a lot of people some big bucks on their pockets.
The thing is, though, you got the egotistic tattoo artists who are like, "Oh, this will never happen to me." They don't know
Yeah.
what they're doing, and they'll promote it harder now.
Yeah.
And then they'll promote it as they're the safest alternative, and they'll totally, shit on those ones.
Yeah.
To me, I think it's a horrible idea. I think it's a horrible concept, and it's super expensive.
Yeah.
You know how
it's
much it
crazy
costs to get your
expensive.
tooth pulled under anesthesia?
Mm.
Could you imagine getting a back piece for, what is it, 6 hours under anesthesia?
4 artists working on your back for a bunch of hours.
What? Like $250, $300 an hour each artist?
What I haven't seen is how, like, when they wake up, like, what do they feel? What I would like to see,
Their
like,
body goes through trauma. I seen it.
yeah,
I seen the videos, and there's this one video where the guy is like standing up slowly because they're helping him up, and you could just see his skin vibrating. That's how much he's
Yeah.
shaking.
Oh, I think I saw that video.
It's scary.
Yeah. He
It's
like
scary.
everything was vibrating on his back, his arms.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that video.
That's shock. Your body's
Yeah.
going through shock.
Yeah.
So it's like he's lucky he didn't go through cardiac arrest,
Yeah.
And then the video I sent you, how crazy was that?
Yes. Yes.
Oh man, Tanya.
What was that?
Listen, this lady, or what's it, I don't know, some tattoo artist.
Mhm.
I'm not gonna assume their gender. They shoved a needle in some guy's neck,
Yeah.
and they drew a circle where they were doing the
It
tattoo,
was like local anesthesia, but they
And they
pulled a
fucking
needle
shoved
inside.
this needle in the neck, and they were pumping it full of lidocaine, and you could just see it bubbling
Yeah.
as it was ejected.
On his neck.
Like you have an artery, like you
Yeah.
can die, and these are things people are risking just to feel not
Just to be comfortable.
yeah. Like just take the tattoo. If the numbing cream don't work, suck it up and take it.
Wouldn't you rather like just do it safer, like in sessions like normal people do, like mortals?
People don't think like that. They want the quick and easy route, and unfortunately, that's what our industry has come to. That's why a lot of clients, I get hit up for a lot of different like sleeve ideas and this, and when I tell them it's gonna be like 3-4 sessions, they pass up the idea of getting tattooed because they want it done in 1 session.
Oh.
I'm like, homie, you're gonna sit for 3 hours and tap out.
Oh.
Like you're not wasting my
I
day.
saw this case of you guys, because you're not in the Spanish Latino, well, that's not Latino, maybe European Spanish part, but there's a famous YouTuber that got his back done
Mhm.
under anesthesia and stuff, and it was like 7 artists working on his back, and they did this huge dragon, like, I don't know, it looked like the Dragon Ball dragon, the one.
Mhm.
We'll see.
Yeah, it looked like that one, but more like Oriental style, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like 7 artists working in there for hours, and they did this huge back piece, and the design they did was stolen from another guy.
I believe it.
And from another guy. So, can you imagine sitting there for like I don't know, 9 hours, 12 hours, 7 artists working, and your design is from someone else?
I believe it because
That's terrible.
Because you know what? It's people want what they want, and they don't want artists to be artists.
Yeah.
Like I had this discussion with one of my artists back home, and it's like clients sometimes get mad when you change up designs.
Yeah.
Like if somebody brings me something, I'm like, yeah, cool, you know what I mean, and I redraw it to the best of my ability, to my style, and they don't like it. I have to now switch my train of thought to appease them because they are the client.
Yeah.
They are right. So I need to do their tattoo how they want the tattoo, even if it's line for line. And it's sad.
It sucks. It sucks.
It sucks because it's a very gray area and it's so frowned upon with other tattooers. But in reality, those other tattooers aren't going to pay your bills.
Yeah, I know. But it still sucks though, because, I mean, seeing it as the other way, as if I was the client, I wouldn't want to get something someone else has,
I agree.
I wouldn't want something I could see everywhere at some point.
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree. And I'm sure Tanya agrees now because, like, when you started tattooing, it's mainly just flash, right? It's like flash off the walls, Cherry Creek flash, right? All
It
that
was
stuff.
pretty popular, yeah, but
Not a lot of custom back then.
Well, I do remember changing a lot of designs up that were flash, but
Hmm.
it was so different with like you pick through a folder of
Yep.
designs that I had collected over all those years, or tattoo magazines. They were
Yeah.
popular for people.
I
to
miss
come
those
through.
days.
Yeah,
Aw.
but
Before-
nothing on the internet like ever was.
Well, yeah, before the internet was a thing, you went out and you bought these tattoo magazines where you could see tattoos from around the world because you
Yeah.
couldn't do it on the internet.
I think I was the last generation to enjoy tattoo magazines.
Yeah.
Like, because, I mean, there's still tattoo magazines, but it's not the same.
It's not
you know?
fun no more.
It's not fun.
And you
but-
know what? Like, when I was young and I used to buy those tattoo magazines and I was aspiring to be a tattoo artist, I was like, I want my tattoos in these magazines. And now that I'm
Yeah.
old and they don't exist, and I mean, they still exist, but it's like no flex
Yeah,
now.
no, there's no.
It's like,
Yeah.
what am I going to put in a tattoo magazine now? It's on the internet.
Yeah, right. I know.
You know what I mean?
That
Nobody's
was
going to
always
buy
it.
that magazine.
Yeah. I
So-
remember, like, when I was, I don't know, like, probably like 12, 13, I bought like 3 magazines, tattoo magazines, and I hid them from my parents. Like if it was porn.
Like it was porn. You know what? You know what's crazy? They probably found them and they just didn't question it.
Yeah.
They're like,
this
why?
is better than porn.
Like, I guess we're just gonna leave this there. Mine was JCPenney. No, let me stop.
You could send. There was a one that flash tattoo magazine. You could send your designs into, and they'd pay you a little bit.
Yep,
to
yep.
have it if it was
That's
published.
cool.
I did
Yep,
that
there
a
was-
couple times.
There was Flash magazine. There was International magazine.
And that was that time in that time era. That was our moment of 5 minutes of fame to have something in a
Yep.
tattoo magazine.
That's how you went viral
Yeah.
back then.
Yeah.
You know, people knew who you were because the bigger names already had the industry. Like, you know, like the Guy Atchisons and those guys already had the industry picked out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People knew them. And conventions, you had maybe 4 conventions back then. Like, there
Well,
wasn't a lot of conventions.
I got to know like Ed Hardy and all that stuff through magazines because
Yeah.
back home we didn't like have, you know, it wasn't like a thing, you know. And so through the magazines, because these were like American magazines, European magazines. That's how
Yeah.
I got to like to see certain things, and I was like, oh, that's
Well,
really cool.
it's crazy when I hear people talk about like Ed Hardy and stuff because it's like
Well,
to me Ed Hardy was a big deal because the West Coast.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, to me, the West Coast was always my heart for tattooing. And, like, when I go out to the West Coast, they always talk about the East Coast artists, like Paul Rogers and, you know, the Spaldings. And they're like, oh, the Spaldings, they're this and they're legends. And I'm like, and in my head, I'm like, yeah, they're legends, but they're not that big of a deal. You know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure when I go out to the West Coast, those artists say the same thing when I'm, like, fangirling over, you know, those West Coast artists. And I'm just like, Ed Hardy made it big with the clothes and stuff, and people
Yeah.
in the industry started, you know, turning their back on him. And I've always just loved his style. I don't care if they said he sold out, because to me,
Why? Because he started doing clothes with his.
yeah, well, his brand, and then you know what's crazy is Sailor Jerry was the biggest advocate against marketing.
Mhm.
Like he did not want anything in the spotlight. He was against interviews. He was against publicity. But he was, when he passed away, they did the Sailor Jerry rum, and I'm like, I wonder what he would do if he was alive today. And he saw that.
They would probably be very angry.
Yeah.
If they saw the artist dancing on TikToks for little.
Yeah.
for clients.
But to me, Ed Hardy will always be the GOAT. You know what I mean? If it wasn't for him, I don't think Americans would appreciate Japanese work.
Yeah.
You know, he's one of the first people to bring it to this side of the waters, you know? And he did the right way. He went over there and learned from, you know, a lot of inspiring artists over there. So, props to Ed Hardy. Tania, growing up in this industry, who was your biggest inspiration?
I was just thinking that I remember like, well, one was Vivienne Lazonga in Seattle, and I went and wound up working for her for a while after I apprenticed and was traveling around.
Mhm.
There was a tribal artist, Leo Zuleta, I think his name was.
Mhm.
He did kind of like islandy type of travel.
Okay, like Polynesian?
Kind of, but
Yeah.
a little different. Julie Moon over there in New Hampshire. Did you hear her? She was doing like
No.
real delicate, like watercolory
Oh, that's
look,
cool. Well, you apprentice under Bruce Barr, right?
Yeah.
Well,
in
he's
Tannersville,
pretty much a legend in our area because you're
Mm.
from around where I'm from, and
which
yeah.
is like upstate New York.
Yep.
So you know.
yeah, and Bruce Barr. I mean, as far as I know too, his name rang bells everywhere, and like
Mm.
he had a shop down here, Fort Lauderdale, Dania Beach,
Fort Lauderdale, yeah.
Fort Lauderdale, and to me, I mean, his name still rings bells. People still ask if he's open. I'm like, I don't even know what's going on with him anymore. You know what I mean?
He's probably in his 70s now, so I'm assuming he's retired. But
Yeah, but like I grew up in, Jay Spalding's shops in Albany, and I got my stomach tattooed there, got my arm blasted there, and those were the days when they were still smoking in the back of the shop. So I was around some legends. It's just, to me, these are people who I knew, so they weren't legends to me at the time. They were just people. I'm like, oh, that's Jay, that's this one, that's that one, and I never thought about it until other people that live the whole other side of the fucking planet are like, oh wow, the Spaldings, Jay, and no. I'm like, oh, you know them? You know what I mean? So it's pretty cool, but
How did you decided to start tattooing, Tanya? What made you click with tattooing?
and growing up, I didn't know a lot of people with tattoos. Like no one in my family had any. Like I'm first generation born here, so it wasn't like that popular. But one of my boyfriends had a nice piece by Pat Sinatra, who was a local artist in Woodstock too. So it got me interested. And I tried to. I ordered the. Well, at first I didn't order the kit, but I tried to hand poke one on myself, and I was encouraged by him saying, go ahead, order the kit, I'll let you practice on me, you'll be good at it. And so I went and ordered a kit and did some of my sisters and friends, and then I went and apprenticed up in Tannersville, and that's when I knew that's what I wanted to do.
Aww.
Memories.
Yeah.
Did you just get soft on one?
And then I moved out to New Mexico to Santa Fe, and I worked for this old guy who had a street shop, and it was only him for his whole career, just in that little shop by himself. And I was the first person that came along asking if he needed help, and because he had two sons that were totally not interested at all in learning the trade. So I worked there. It was very interesting, and he got to go take his wife to Mexico on vacation. He took a little break, and I feel really grateful that he had that opportunity, because like a year later he died, and so he had that
sad
moment to pass on some knowledge, because I learned stuff from him, and I don't know what happened to the shop afterwards, as after that I moved to Seattle before he died.
So you traveled a lot, huh?
A little bit, yeah.
Where was your favorite place?
Well, they were both of those places, Seattle and Santa Fe, had nice qualities, but I still like New York the best. Yeah.
Man, I ran from New York twice. I was like, it's like a magnet, it draws you back, and then I'm like, no, why am I here?
Mountains.
Yeah.
They call me. I'm
I will say though, and I tell Moy all the time, and I tell anybody else that asks us about New York, I'm like, the city's shit. The city is shit. Albany's shit. You go out to the mountains, the Adirondacks, the Catskills. It's beautiful. Only in the summertime. The fall time, you have like a good 2 weeks of beautifulness. In 2 weeks, that's all you get. Once the leaves are off the tree, forget it. It's ugly, it's scary, and it's annoying to deal with. Tanya loves it. Not me.
I love this note.
Not me.
I love it.
But we do have beautiful sights out there. I ain't gonna lie about it. You know what I mean? Nothing excites me about going to any of the lakes, because they're just that's where the locals go, and they're partying in the lakes, pissing and shitting in the lakes, and swimming in each other's vomit.
No,
It's gross.
wow.
It's gross.
No.
Nothing ever entertained me about that. Never. But I love going to Woodstock. Woodstock's beautiful. In the summertime, they have a flea market out there. I bought some cool. I bought a Tibetan mask. It was like paper mache, and I hang it over my door so all the evil bitches stay out of my house. But
They just burn when they walk inside. Just light up on fire.
But I mean, New York's beautiful. I mean, if I had to say, if I picked a place that I feel is the most beautiful, it would be California, but only for a weekend. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Because you know what? When you start driving around and you're in traffic for 2 hours for somewhere that only takes you a half hour to get to, you're already annoyed and it ruined the trip, and you want to leave.
This
Florida?
sounds familiar, like, to Florida.
Well, Florida is my heart. Like my heart and soul is here. You know what I mean?
And you
This
were
is
born here, right? So.
no. I was born in New York.
Oh, you were?
Yeah, I came here when I was 22, 23, and I lived in Miami, and I unfortunately had to go back to New York. My mom and dad got sick, so. But now I'm back here, and I'm never leaving, and I don't care.
Never?
And when I die, my body goes out to the ocean, and like in funeral. But yeah, I mean, Florida had my heart. So, what about you?
What's my...
The top most beautiful place you ever been to?
The top most beautiful place I've ever been to?
Mhm.
I think probably back home in Venezuela.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a place that's almost in the Amazon, between almost getting to the border with Brazil. Have you seen the movie Up?
Yep.
You know that really plain mountain and
Yep.
hill thing? Well, we have a bunch of those.
Oh, that's dope.
And I think that's, like, when you're up there, it was a huge, long-ass trip. Like, it's a terrible trip to get there. But, I don't know, it's so quiet. Like, I've never felt more quietness ever.
It's probably super relaxing, I bet.
It's, I don't know, it's like you're in another planet.
Yeah.
There's no people, there's nothing there.
I've always wanted to go to the rainforest and stuff. But I have this toxic trait where I think I could take everything.
No, you're just gonna get eaten by mosquitoes.
I will die.
Like
because
mosquitoes from the size of your finger.
I will see an anaconda and be like, I can take it.
I'll eat it.
You know what I mean? And that's my toxic trait. I will look at things and be like, I could take that.
I think that's a good mentality to have.
So I feel like
I'm dead.
you might catch me wrestling a fucking capoeira or capybara. Yeah, fucking who knows what'll happen. But
Dude, those things are friendly. They're super
yeah,
friendly.
but my toxic trait, once again, I'll look at it.
You'll
and
look
I'm
for a fight.
I can take it.
Those are like the friendliest animals. They're friends with everyone on, I don't know, in the Amazon and stuff.
I saw them cuddling with alligators.
Yeah, they do.
No, you guys got crocodiles down there, not alligators, right?
Yeah.
Crocodiles. We have alligators here.
We have both.
Do you have both?
Yeah.
I thought alligators was an American
That's
thing.
what I thought.
No.
Really? There's
No, they're called
Venezuela?
caimans, and they're small.
Oh,
that's
caimans.
different, yeah.
Oh, that's
Caimans.
different?
We have caimans up here too.
The American alligators.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. They
That's
look
what I
the same
think.
to me.
Yeah, no, we actually. So I'm a nerd and I watch a lot of YouTube. I know this isn't tattoo related, sorry,
Sorry.
but I'm a nerd and I watch a lot of YouTube and I watch like invasive species of Florida all the time because I want to keep updated on what's here because it intrigues me and I want to go out there like fucking Steve Irwin.
They kill anacondas here, right?
They found the anacondas here. They found a Nile crocodile here, and they also found caiman.
Okay.
Caiman are here. A black mamba they found in a tree. It attacked a gardener. Yep. And these are animals that don't belong
Yeah,
here.
they don't
And I'm
belong
like,
here.
they're just chilling. We got
toad iguanas are over.
the king toad is down here, and they're scary. Your dog gets a hold of a king toad.
Cane.
What's a king toad?
Cane, right?
Cane, because they
cane.
used them to kill something in the sugarcane fields, and became.
They're huge.
Invasive.
They're huge
Yeah.
and they're poisonous. Your dog can die from like they have discretion. What's that word I'm looking for? Discretions. Excretions.
Yeah.
So like it looks like pus coming out of their back.
If it don't, I don't remember if it's a big dog, it'll be okay, but a little one could.
My macho's Teflon. That dog will eat anything. he's so retarded. He'll never understand what's going on.
He bites the toad and the toad dies.
Yeah. But, okay,
That's fine.
back to tattoo industry.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, what were we talking about?
Well, do you think that'll ever become like what you see in the space age movies, where you stand at a booth and it'll be lasered on you, like without having to go through the process? I wonder if that'll ever come to pass.
Laser tattoo?
I think in like 20, I think in 20 years they'll develop something that would be like a printer.
Like you just type in what you want and then it'll.
Well, they're doing it with nails.
Yeah, well, I saw some lady, did like a experimental thing with a 3D printer where they hooked up a tattoo machine to it, and it was a clean tattoo, but it was like just script.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay,
Give it a little more.
I'm not mad at that because I hate doing script. So if I could just buy a script machine to tattoo script on people, I'm winning. You know what I mean? So
That's gonna suck.
but like, who's really gonna trust a machine to like do a half sleeve?
Everyone.
People that want it done in 5
Not
People
me.
that get anesthesia and tattoos.
Do you trust your car driving to California?
without a driver. You mean?
No. I mean,
So that'll make it?
yeah.
Um,
You're not worried about
Yeah,
like a
I
flat
mean, I am a
tire,
little bit,
the
yeah.
oil, maybe
Yeah.
gas, right? Things happen because it's mechanical, right?
mhm.
Humans have error, but will never break down.
Mm.
Machines have error, they break down, then you got to find somebody to fix it. Then you're on the phone for hours with technical support trying to reboot it.
I want to get the word duck machine in this. Fuck.
Could you imagine a technical error and you're spelling out somebody's last name and it's like William, but it stops at Will? It just dies and you don't have time to get a new machine? What do you do? What do you
Stick
do?
with Will.
Now you got
I
Will. Right? And then just Sharpie the rest on until we figure this problem out. So yeah, I mean, I feel like they'll eventually come up with something in 20 years. Whether or not I would trust it, I feel like that's when the tattoo industry will start dying.
Yeah.
Because the more you trust machines to do stuff, the more people stop relying on things. And let's be honest, people rather not take that risk. And they're like, I'm not getting tattooed. You know what I mean? Because how many tattoos are going to get fucked up or people are going to get hurt in the machine? You know, what if that machine goes crazy and stabs you? You know what I mean? There's so much that could go wrong. You still need humans.
It's gonna be fun news to read.
Yeah.
At least.
In 20 years, could you imagine what the tattoo industry is like in 20 years? Like machines?
Machines dancing on TikTok. we need to work.
Well, here's the thing. Tanya, did you ever think that the tattoo machine would look like what it looks like today?
No. And I am a little surprised that the artwork itself and what people can do is still evolving to be so amazing. Like sometimes I just look and I'm like blown away by what's coming, what new methods are coming out and what people can do. It's just.
I know, I look at some stuff and I'm just like Javi. Javi's stuff is crazy. He does his AI artwork and then he tattoos it and it looks like the AI tattooed it on the person because it's perfect. It's like so crisp and I'm just like, I'm jealous. I can't do that. You know what I mean? Like how? And but you know, it goes back to relearning. You know, you never stop learning as an artist, and you know, if you want to take something to the next level, you know, you got to restudy your color theory. You got to relearn the process of that style you want to do, and you got to start from the beginning.
I think right now it's just us battling against AI.
You know what? It's either we battle it or we just get with the times.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about it. And you know what? When I was talking to Javi about it, he said the same thing. He's like, well, why not utilize a tool?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I can AI a concept and it gives me a concept and it stays as a concept and I draw from it, I feel like it's a win-win. Like the eyes that I do in my traditional realism mashups, they're all AI.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they are not people. I mean, I'm sure they're people from somewhere, but they're like multiple people for one person. You know, it's AI generated. I used the DaVinci app, and it generated me AI eyes.
That's so cool.
Yep.
I haven't used AI yet.
And the reason I do that is I feel like you get the most crisp pictures for stuff like that. Like,
yeah, for realism, it's probably super
it's
amazing.
amazing. Because you know what? You can go on Google, find a photo of a woman, and it'd be pixelated. No matter what you do, it's pixelated. You zoom in, it's pixelated. So you don't have that crisp detail. Where if you AI, beautiful redhead woman, and it pulls up a red head, and like the detail, you could zoom in, and you could see the blemishes, the detail, and everything. And I'm like, that's where it matters.
That's what I need.
Yeah. So AI is, you know, beneficial to the right person. If you're a traditional artist, I don't think AI is beneficial to you. I think it's useless because traditionally, you should know what you're doing. It's the basis of tattooing.
Yeah.
So
At least in my part, I'm not like super into AI because, you know, I don't know. I draw what I look like. I look at stuff and I just like interpret a lot and just like twist stuff around.
Yeah.
So I usually use if I ever used like AI or stuff, it's like, hey, I want to see, I don't know, a cat eating ramen sitting on a tree. Just to imagine it.
Yeah.
And picture it mostly.
I can see that because sometimes you ever have something in your head. Say you're at the park and you see something and you're like, damn, that would be really cool if it was a bird dancing with a top hat and an ice cream cone in his hand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But then you walk down the street and you're like, damn, what was I thinking about again? You know what I mean? When you could have just said that in an AI app on your phone and saved the concept.
Mm-hmm.
Right? How cool. See that?
Bird
It makes
dancing
sense.
on a top hat with an ice cream cone.
I come up with I don't know where my brain
And
goes.
would it have been a cartoon version of that or a realistic?
So the Da Vinci app, I should get paid for this, Da Vinci.
Oh.
The Da Vinci app, if you download it, it's free. You get 50 free, generators, and you could pick whether it's realism. They have different styles. You can have it generated in. You could do cartoon. They got the Pixar. They got all kinds of different ones. So it's how you word it makes it the cleanest. And if you keep it simple and straight to the point, you get the best generators. So
yeah,
it's cool.
I just hope it doesn't dumb down people's creativity as artists.
It's gonna, because let's be honest,
happen.
there's tattoo artists out there right now, fine line tattoo artists that
emphasis in fine line.
They have zero artistic ability.
Yeah,
they can't draw. They're copying something that's fine line, and I can't knock them because it's clean work, but they're just photocopiers. That's all it is, and I'm pretty sure it works in some photorealism artists too. They can't draw photorealism. But they can tattoo their ass off on it.
Like I said one time, it's just like you may have the skill to do something, but that doesn't make you like a real artist. Just because you have a skill doesn't mean you have the mind of it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, I've met some incredible artists that can draw anything you put in front of them, and they can't tattoo to save their life. I don't like to bash any artist, but I've seen it. I've seen every way of every combination you could think of. Yep.
Tattooing's hard.
And you know what though? It's not bad to suck in the beginning of your career. I sucked. You know what I mean? Everybody sucks. It's how you develop and you grow. Yeah. And if you're not developing and growing and you're not learning and you're not trying to learn and you're just doing it for the money, you're in it for the wrong reasons and you're a shitty tattoo artist.
And if you're not studying either, like once you get like good at it, I never feel I'm good at it because I need to believe it for myself. But when I hear like positive comments about my stuff and blah blah blah, you feel good. But I think at some point you have to like acknowledge that you're an artist and that this is what you do.
Yeah.
And that it's fine to start sucking at something because eventually it's going to pay back.
It goes back to human error.
Yeah.
We're not perfect. Bad things are going to happen sometimes. Yeah. You might sneeze and oops a line. It happens.
That's terrible.
It definitely happens. Tanya, what was the first style you ever learned?
I guess, probably tribal and like regular, like, Cherry Creek type of flash.
Yeah, that tribal phase.
Yeah.
You did start that tribal phase. It was your error. That turned cybertralism, whatever it's called, into a thing. God, it's so stupid. So
the cyborg.
Back then, tribal was really good for apprentices. It's amazing for apprentices to do. I still try to get them to do it because you learn how to pack black, you learn how to bring things to points without dots. Stop and go dots. And the thing is, now it's coming back, and they renamed it. Yes. And it's basically micro 90s tribal. What do they call it? What's it called? Cybertralism? I don't know.
They had something on the news about it.
It's stupid.
But I've seen it done like with fine line now, so it's
Yeah, and it's gonna heal it. It's gonna look
yeah.
like shit in 5 years.
Yeah, it's gonna look like stretch marks.
Well, so I seen that girls are doing it on stretch marks. I also saw the lightning bolts on stretch marks.
No, I've seen the
And I'm
lightning
just like,
bolts.
if you're 20 years old and you're tattooing your stretch marks as lightning bolts, when you're 30, do you know what that's gonna look like?
Yeah.
And I don't want to sound like that old guy. You know, when you're older, what's that tattoo gonna look like? But it's not a design. It's just lines.
Yeah.
And you're just tattooing stretch marks that might not even be there later on. Because stretch marks go away eventually sometimes. On the right person. I've seen stretch marks disappear on people. Sometimes they get worse.
If you start having kids. Yeah.
Listen, not my body, not my choice. You want to go get zebra print tattoo on you? Go for it.
Oh man, I remember those.
Those things, cheetah print.
Yeah.
God,
those
half sleep
pulls.
cheetah prints.
Yeah.
How many
Ooh,
girls
I've
are
seen a
walking
lot
around
of
with that?
I've seen a lot of those.
Oh my god, I did a lot of those.
You did?
I got so good at it, I used to just Sharpie it.
That was a thing back in Venezuela at some point. The
Really?
cheetah print. Yeah.
Yep, it went cheetah print, and then it went to like Louis symbols and Gucci symbols, and yeah, and then there was that fancy filigree swirl stuff with the stars.
Yes.
Yeah, remember that? And all the girls had it on their hips, and then they had babies, and it looks like worms. And I'm like, no, now you got a squiggly wiggly on your thumb.
Remember the barcode era? Where
God,
the
that's even
barcode.
stupid. Like the barcode era. First off,
Mustache in the finger.
you want a 6'2", 300-pound guy pulling straight lines close together in a rural area. You're coming to the wrong guy. You're not gonna be able to scan this.
Barcode error.
Well, they don't even have barcodes anymore. What is it? QR codes now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Do
Yeah,
they
I haven't
even
seen
work?
QR codes.
Do you think they work
QR codes.
if you tattoo it?
A QR code would be so hard.
It would have to be.
I'm gonna
exactly.
give a free barcode tattoo
You mean
just for.
QR code.
Huh?
You mean
Oh, the QR code.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give a free QR code just for the experiment.
We need 3 people.
Yeah.
3
Just-
QR codes.
yeah, 3 QR codes for free. Yeah.
That was the thing too, and then there was the voice one, where
that was
Oh
pretty,
yeah,
that wasn't that long
like
ago.
the sound thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that was like 5 years
You
ago,
never
right?
had to do that. But,
That was pretty dumb too, because in 5 years it's like blotted and to shit, and it's not readable.
Yeah.
But you know what? Sometimes people get those things for like memory of family, and you just don't say anything. You keep them thoughts in your head, and you're like, well, yeah, R.I.P. Sorry.
Oh, the feather era.
God, I hate feathers.
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 Tanya loves feathers.
feathers with the birds flying away.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I feel like Tanya was the dream catcher artist, right?
The dream catcher.
See? Tanya's probably
Oh.
done like 975 dream catchers since '93.
Oh my god, no, maybe more Chinese symbols or way more popular.
Chinese symbols.
Yeah.
Do you think Chinese people get American words?
They do.
Do they?
I've seen it, yeah. Yeah. They were trying to
Don't
compare,
cancel
show
me.
how silly it looked, like showed a Chinese person with a word that said like bloom or whatever.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's how it was so they could see it from the other side. Like how silly it looks to them when Americans are walking around with a word on them like that.
It is kind of silly. Like Nicki Minaj has a whole thing on her arm, and I don't even know if she knows what it means. Like it's like she has all this kanji going down her arm. I have one.
You have a kanji?
Yeah, it
What
probably
is
says cat food, but
That's
I tried
Father.
to once put my head in and figure out why people want those, and I think it's they like the mysteriousness of it. They want people to say, "What does that mean?"
like
I would get one just, but like for real with something really dumb, like
Really
on
dumb.
purpose.
right? Like
Yeah,
egg
a-
roll.
Yeah.
Right.
So Chinese
There's-
people see me like,
I remember I'd done "Born to Lose" on somebody.
So there's this.
Chinese.
born to lose.
It's funny we're talking about this because there's this TikToker, and he's Chinese from China,
Mhm.
and his whole platform is about like translating American tattoos. And I'm pretty
That's
sure
great.
if you just Google Chinese guy American tattoos, it'll probably pop up, and he's hilarious. And he just tells you like it's backwards. Like the words are supposed to go like one way,
Uh-huh.
but the way they put it on the person's skin is reversed, so it doesn't mean what they think it means. I'm just like, that sounds like America. It sounds like America.
Yes.
You say one thing and you do the opposite. But anyway, so yeah, so well, guys, it was a pleasure, Tanya. It was definitely a pleasure having you. You know,
Thanks for letting me know.
if you guys haven't followed Tanya, she's on our page. Tanya, where can they find you?
Oh,
Your Instagram.
metamorphosistattoostudio.com.
There you go.
I'm in
And
Kingston, New York, and here,
that's right. She's a natural
Hollywood,
hippie.
Florida.
Natural hippie.
But I don't take my bus back and forth. I go with flying on it.
She ain't built for all that. Right. You guys have a good night. Thank you.
Bye.